Choose your hero. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Thank you, and welcome to game number 2 between Secret, Psg.Lgd. Happy Slacks, how are you doing?
Am I Happy Slacks?
I can't tell.
I think you're Angry Slacks, and I'm LGD after the last game. So I think you know we're doing okay up here. Let's see if LGD are doing it, because that was an absolute beatdown, and they need to bring it back here to get us a third game. Just want to give a quick shout out to the fans in the arena that supplied us with these. We have some fans here with a seemingly endless supply of Sir Action Slacks masks. I'm sure you guys will be able to find them out there, but now it's time for the game. Yep. That was a good timing on that voice line of us actually taking off the mask, so that did feel good to take off, I'm not gonna lie.
It is close to Halloween, and I did feel terrifying for once in my life.
That is true.
Appreciate that. As we do make it into game number 2, like we said, and already a smoke here from LGD. But looking at their lineup, Cinderin, I might have to interrupt you if things start, but you can start your monologue to tell me what you think of both sides here.
I think compared to last game, I think LGD have more early game prowess. I think last game was in a way, it was a little bit all in with how things needed to go, and the one lane that they were going to do well in kind of did, but not enough. I think this time around they have more skirmishing power with the Monkey King stuck in the trees. They've got a tiny on Jinkyu this time compared to the Tusk last game that got shot down. For Secret, they're running some of the same stuff, right? The name of the game last game was Counter Initiation. This time around, they have it again. They have their Nyx Dawnbreaker combo where you stun to set up the Dawnbreaker ult. You can Carapace to set it up. Rather different, though, from Puppy's side to have the Disruptor instead of the Maiden. A very aggressive support that capitalizes a lot on when you initiate.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way, Secret's lineup a little bit less one-dimensional than last game, which can be both a good and a bad thing. But more than anything, I don't know how much to really talk about the drafts more so than, okay, you know, for LGD, you gotta feel like you get an entry into the game, right? Whatever lineup you have. You fall behind again, it's not a good look.
As we're going to see an Impale come out from Zayas just to poke Y a bit. But like you said, the CM very different with the Disruptor now, because we saw early game, Puppy was farming, and guess what? Disruptor cannot do that at all. He can farm heroes, though, if he's able to find pickoffs here, just forcing Y back. Tier 2 tower. Zayas TP's away now, preventing the supports from getting into the lane with their position 1. Face Beyond playing the Death Prophet here.
Interesting choice from Secret here to opt for essentially a lane swap, right? They're playing Chrysalis in the off lane together with Disruptor on Puppy, so they feel like this matchup, both their side lane matchups are not particularly good against Monkey King, right? Both Marcy and Dawn are these melee heroes, but they feel like they offer more in the top lane this way, and I think part of the logic is this way they combine all of their magic damage better, right? Disruptor plus Dawn have a lot of magic damage against the Frost Shield and against Monkey King's low HP pool, so maybe they can stand their ground and fight back, whereas something like a Nyx Marcy, I think, would have kind of been overwhelmed. Sure, they have some magic damage, but it doesn't amount to nearly the same as a good Celestial Hammer plus Thunderstrike combination will, so...
I mean, as a result of these lanes, Rezo is effectively playing position 1 Marcy, which, you know, he's had plenty of practice in years past playing position 1, position 2, and obviously position 3 normally now these days. But what are your thoughts on Marcy as a toss 1 right now?
I think the hero is incredibly strong as a core in general. AB phase boots and you become a monster. So whichever lane you put Marcy in where she finds farm, you will get that impact later. I do think one upside for LGD against this hero in this game, though, is that I think they have somewhat decent disengage. They have some tossbacks, they have Frost Shield against the Marcy damage. Monkey King has his jump, obviously. They have arguably the advantage of vision as well, where they have Zeus ulti, they can have Monkey in the trees. There's a Nyx on the other side, so maybe kind of equalizes it, but I definitely think this is a game where Marcy with a BKB is very strong, but until she has it, I think she can be taken advantage of by almost all of LGD's lineup, actually. A lot of magic burst, a lot of control.
And what are your thoughts on this specific mid matchup, Lesh versus Zeus?
Should be Lesh favored. It's kind of like last game where you had Nisha playing against a Pangolier. This time you're against a ranged hero, but Zeus's forte is not beating ranged heroes out of lane. It's finding his farm and then finding impact later, and just kind of trying to break even. I do think Lesh over time should be able to build a little bit of an advantage. Nice detail there from Nothing to Say in mid, by the way. Used the heavenly jump to attack speed slow Nisha so he didn't get the flag bearer creep. A double CS loss, essentially.
Rezo getting forced out of lane temporarily here. 8-6 start for him, so
not the best.
Not the best, but see if that changes here. Jin Q has been applying a lot of pressure, and obviously Faith Beyond on the depth prep, like we talked about. The hero that, I mean, not too long ago was changed, so Spirit Siphon is not percentage-based damage, so it won't scale as well, but as a result, it's a lot of times stronger early game.
It is so powerful around the... I think in many ways DP is one of the strongest heroes in Dota when it hits level 7. If it has 4 in Spirit Siphon and has an okay matchup, you see these clips where DPs just win 1v3s because the enemy team doesn't have healing reduction or don't have good chain stuns or kite ability to get away. A hero like Marcy is relatively safe in that regard, that she does have the rebound to get away, but you still got to be a little bit wary when TQ hits level 3 because you could get tossed too far away to rebound, and then you could get avalanched in that position. But
Rezo, set up there from Zayas to start things out. Sidekick is there as well, but the Spirit Siphon from Faith Beyond is going to force Resolution back for the time being and connect back into the lane. But we can see the CS from all the lanes. This is very LGD favored. Mid lane is kind of a wash, but the other two very LGD favored, like I said. So how important is that for Secret, for LGD to get off to this good start in the laning stage?
I mean, it's huge, especially I think one of the biggest differences between this game and the last is just polar opposite game for Crystallis, right? Last game he got to play Dawnbreaker against Enigma, which is just you're just coasting to a free lane. Yeah. This one, you have one of your worst matchups, which, again, kind of interesting that Secret opt for this, right? I think not only did they put Dawnbreaker against Monkey, didn't they also pick it into Monkey, or what was the pick order? I feel like it was kind of, there was something about that draft that was a little bit surprising with the order.
What would have been so bad about Marcy in this thing? Because she has a way to get away from...
She does have a way to get away as well. Yeah. Oh.
It's back, Starbreaker, but a lot of it's mitigated thanks to Frost Shield coming out from Y. I was going to say it's not going to lead to kill, but that is more damage than I thought. First Blood ends up going to Puppey. So Secret, despite losing in the CS and the outer lanes, they can get Blood. A nice double stun from Zayat, but the Avalanche is going to keep him in place. Spirit Siphon, and the tree toss is there. Jin Q gets credit for it.
Yeah, I think the mindset for Secret in this bottom lane should just be we can't kill and we shouldn't go for aggressive moves because I think the punish is just too strong, right? Even Rezo with a running sidekick on both of them, Faith Beyond is going to overpower them with Spirit Siphon. They just don't have the tools to manage that until you have maybe level 6 on Marcy. Perhaps there's an opportunity to find a kill there. But yeah, the top lane, nice kill from Secret. I'm a little bit surprised that Ame didn't get more involved in trying to save his Lich, but I think he had creeps in the tower that he was prioritizing, and maybe the communication was Y saying, I'm fine, don't worry. I'm seeing on the
Y.
Yeah.
Take some heavy damage here, but here comes the pounce from Ame. Crystallis. It's going to be another Jinx stack coming out for Ame. Puppey basically out of mana right now.
Stuns.
Yeah, but Starbreaker coming out. It does connect onto the Lich, but the Thunder God's Wrath finishes off 2 heroes, so nothing to say despite being kind of a wash in the mid lane. Now has 2 kills to his name.
Yep, and that's going to put him at the advantage, not just breaking even now with Lesh, but will be pulling ahead on that network. So 500 gold advantage for him there. Had the Arcane Rune as well for that Thunder God, so it feels really good to use. It's a relatively long cooldown on level 1, but nice jump there. No Carapace.
Yeah,
From Zayat. Maybe wasn't expecting the jump to come that early from NTS, but yeah, I dare say already that the conditions LGD have in this game are going to make it a closer game than the last one. Like, this is already so much better when you consider how their lineup is going to fare in the next stages of this game. And I think the challenge here for Secret is going to be bringing Nisha into the game. I think he's the key to unlocking the game for them. He has a lot of magic damage against the Frost Shield. He's one of the heroes that can kill Monkey King right now, which, as we've established, their 2 side lane melee cores don't do the best job at. But the way you bring the Lesh into the game here is usually through the Nyx, but he's level 2. We're 7 minutes in. Zayat is having a totally different game than the first one. Really suffering down here. They're obviously going to use that to give Rezo the priority of finding a fast 6, and now he's going to leech some XP off of Nisha finding that stack in the jungle, but long ways away. I think Zayat has to take a lane away now from Nisha for a while to give himself a game. It is really important that you don't fall into that trap at supports, which I think kind of happened to LGD in the last game, where you're like, you know, you can't just give your cores everything. Supports need to be unlocked to find purpose in the game. Now Zayat is back bottom.
Bombay's creeps up, but Avalanche is there. Toss back into the Exorcism from Faith Beyond, but the rebound global range as usual. And Marcy
So good.
is A-okay, to say the least.
No Sinister Gaze there, I believe, from Y.
That is true.
I think
That would've
he
been the
wanted to use it a little bit later. Didn't expect Marcy to be in range for the jump on the Nyx there. So I think it is one of those moments where you need to time it perfectly, because if you use it instantly, I don't think you have enough damage for Rezo anyway, because you needed to use it delayed.
Secret are trying to fight into this Exo. It's going to be running out relatively soon, so I'm trying to time that perfectly. Rezo's going to show himself, though. Fortification was already popped to Jin Q. We get the D word one way or the other, but it will be a deny. You see, oh, nothing to say, taking a lot of damage. Actually, the heavenly jump on the other side, he's just dead to Nisha. Big kill for Secret as now they try to pursue. That was a rebound into a toss, which helps the unleash a little bit here. And Pale's going to connect on the wall, but now Resolution has to be a little bit careful. Gets off the dispose, and there's the Sinister Gaze we were talking about from Y. They do find the kill on the support, but Resolution falls in the end, and her splitter is just a millimeter off. Nisha trying to find some more value here.
Not inch. All right, Zincusta.
Well, it was a millimeter. Inch is bigger than a millimeter. I don't know if you know that, Cinder.
No, you don't know what a millimeter is.
Trivia time for you as Chrysalis hammers to the low ground. Looks like he's fine.
Yeah. That was a sick toss from Jin Q, by the way, during, I think it was mid-air. It was mid-rebound, so he didn't get stunned, and actually made a pretty big difference there that he finds that toss to salvage that situation somewhat. But yeah, huge play from Nisha there, the rotation, finding the Zeus solo kill, finding the regen rune and converting that into additional kill at bot has essentially equalized the game now and put himself in the driver's seat, which, you know, if you're a Secret fan, you might not find this net worth split too healthy. The Lesh way at the top of the board, but then you gotta look quite far down to find the next hero for the team you're cheering for. But if you do have one hero far away of the field in this game, you do want to
we have the Impale. Nice setup from Resolution as well. Crystal to the Solar Guardian, and Faith Beyond is deleted.
big kill.
Radiant's bottom
Pick off
tower
and
is under attack.
Practice this combo a lot.
Yep.
I mean, last game they didn't have the Marcy to help out on top of that initiation. It was just the Nyx, but it still proved to be quite potent. Now Nisha and company look to find Jin Q, but the Avalanche, nicely placed from him. By Carapace a little bit too late.
Yeah, to quote a wise philosopher, it really does feel so good to play with multiple setup stuns as Dawn. And yeah, I will never call you that again, trust. All right,
Zayat is going to be spotted. Okay, Sinister Gaze is there. Resolution gets a nice stun off with his rebound. Looks like Wyatt is mega dead. His Faith Beyond coming from the low ground with that Exorcism. Jin Q following out behind with a Static Storm inside that kinetic field. They're going to try to focus down the DP, but she's healing so much. Now Resolution, he is getting low. The Urn Charge applied. One last little damage proc there from the Exorcism, and Faith Beyond gets credit for that.
Urn as well will now be turned into a vessel. So this time around, LGD with the healing reduction.
Nothing to say. He's going to do a nice job at dodging, but it doesn't matter. Chrysalis still has the damage. Downless Strike connects onto two as Ame has come to play, but there is the glimpse, and that's going to reset things. So quite losing there. I mean, what do
Radiant's
you want to even
bottom
call
tower
Marcy? It is the
is under
position
attack.
3 technically.
Yeah.
They do get the position 2 Zeus.
I mean, at this point, both Marcy and Dawn are kind of position 3.5
Are scanning.
when you look at the net worth. So.
I mean, we've seen a
Radiant's
lot of games in the
bottom
past where
tower is under
Secret
attack.
kind of rely on Nisha to absolutely take over. And I want to say, of all the people that is good at carrying on their back, he is probably number 1 on my list. I had to make one. As Zayat's.
Oh, nice
The
horsey.
horsey. Very good. But Ame is there.
That's a longer horsey.
That's a
Primal
monkey over
Radiant's
horse,
bottom
apparently.
tower has
Zayat will
fallen.
proc down.
Almost the name of your 2 cats.
That's right. Thank you, Simran.
Welcome. 1% of the audience got that. That's fine.
Really great to work with.
What is it your cats are called? It's Monkey. Bucket. It's Bucket, right?
That's right,
The other one.
Bucket.
What name's their cat? Bucket. All right,
know.
never mind. Don't talk about my dog's name, okay? We're good.
Onion.
Yeah, that's not what his name is.
It basically is. As Nisha makes his way to the top lane with Resolution's help and then looking to get the trade a little bit late here, but I doubt LGD will
Dire's
try to defend, just
structures are fortified.
Yeah.
using the fortification. Bloodstone, not too far away for Nisha, just the recipe away, I believe.
Yeah, the big difference between this game and the last one is they have the Vessel, right? So there is a path to killing Lesh for Faith Beyond here, the DP. And they also have more burst in general. Last game they had more like sustained damage with the Lone Druid, etc. But this time you have the
Radiant's
Zeus, you
middle
have
tower
Monkey
is
King
under
with some
attack.
decent burst, DP with the high damage at this point in time.
Well, but this mid tier 1,
Yep.
kind of a big deal. You got to be careful of that Thunderbolt if you're Zayats for that vision.
Radiant's
There as well. They're gonna spot him. They're gonna try to burst him down. Thunder God Wrath is there as well. Looks like Puppey's gonna survive. His Solar Guardian coming in now. They're gonna focus all their efforts onto this Lich and the Zeus dive as well. So nothing to say. Takes a fall. This is gonna be a third kill in this engagement. All for Secret and even a buyback coming out.
They set that up so well.
Dire's structures
The
are
Nyx
fortified.
does not get caught running into the sentry, eats the DP silence, resets, and just goes back in. And again, I think this game, nothing to say with the 3 deaths on Zeus. He's just getting caught a
Dire's
bit too
middle
much.
tower has fallen.
Secret with a big trade there. Sure, you lose your mid tower, but you take 1 right back, you find 3 kills and a buyback out of the Lich. So that's huge, and LGD...
I will say this time around, Secret's Roche lineup is far better in terms of just taking it.
Yeah, Marcy
especially
is
with-
very good at it.
Marcy on top of, I mean, we saw the diabolic, I mean, the same combo, I guess, from last time, but either way, something they can actually not have to rely on LGD to do 3/4 of the damage before taking. They want.
You put the sidekick on Dawnbreaker with Deso, and then you use your ult, and those 2 heroes together can probably kill Roche in like 20 seconds, just
Yep.
the 2 of them. So
Zayat
definitely much
spotting
better.
some things out here. We have a
Glimpse.
glimpse. Faith Beyond is out of there. Basement does spawn as Puppey's gonna take the brunt here. Balance strike, but he turns into a little pig. A couple more right clicks will do it, so support down for Secret. LGD looking for more.
It's all 5 LGD heroes killing a 5 Disruptor, though. That does not feel that great. And this is one of the strengths that you
Radiant's
have
middle
as
tower
Secret's
is under
lineup, is that
attack.
you can play this Dawnbreaker in a side lane and push out the waves and feel somewhat safe, and obviously connect with your ult when it's available. On the other side, Marcy, also a kind of tricky hero for LGD's heroes to kill, so you need to rotate the right amount of numbers. They will do a big move here once again. This time as 4, though.
Dire's
To not break the smoke
tower
onto the
is
Nyx.
under
This would be a
attack.
huge pick if they found Nisha, but reading this like a book and not getting caught.
He might be the one that suffers, but again, it's going to be a support potentially. Gets off the fight, Carapace though. Exorcism is popped, and does that mean they want to try to go for Roach? They're trying to take a fight. Faith Beyond, finding Chrysalis, slowing him down to Spirit Siphon, but the kinetic field blocks him off. That might be all PSG LGD get, and that's a big cooldown they have to take into account now.
Oh, they might even look for a Tiny.
Hammer's there as well. Down goes Tiny. Faith Beyond. He's here as well, but the Exorcism is running out. Resolution forced to fight despite the Spirit being applied to him. So it's Big Lich hold on to 2, and PSG LGD, despite being down in numbers at the start, end up taking this fight in space 3 for 1, and Nisha left along with Zayat here in the top lane.
Oh, they got insane value out of DP in that fight. So much damage, so much healing, and like you said, the Chain Frost doing tons of work as well. And it honestly, that looked like a really good counterplay from Secret jumping on the Tiny, but I think Resolution maybe bit over a little bit more than he could chew there. I think they have the kill without the rebound, and he doesn't need to go in. And that did
He's
set
gonna
them up
place
for a
the
return.
sentry there. He's gonna get the tops off, and that means Secret probably will back out here. The ward battles have cometh.
Yep.
Secret to get a bit of that engagement. It's nothing to say now with the Arcane Rune. That's a big one.
So we're gonna
another
see
replay here. Yeah. I thought this fight was
So this
very
is
good for
this is
Secret
really
Starter.
good, this glimpse that comes out here. So they're going to glimpse back Jin-Q into a Lesh stun. And I think this is a kill without Marcy connecting here. And now Reso's out of position. Chain Frost starts bouncing. He carries that one. Wait, didn't it continue? Oh,
was right here.
It was on the creep camp above. I was like, where did it go? And then it
Oh.
connected back down to Puppey and Crystals. All right, that's just flat out really unfortunate because it looked like they carried it away and it was gone. I think Secret were caught off guard by that Chain Frost returning to the fight and actually just giving LGD a little bit of a freebie there. Sometimes the creeps are not neutral. That was dire creeps.
Indeed. Well, 1K lead for Psg.Lgd as Faith Beyond working on a BKB. And we've already seen the being applied. Very strong item. Zayats now with the Vendetta. Is going to be seen. Why? Take the Vendetta damage to start, but like you said, the Zayats coming out. Hammer. Crystal wants to finish the job, and he will. They find the support.
About that kind of thing where I
Making progress toward that Deso. He did go for the shard first. I think that's a good choice in this game as Dawn. You're up against too many problems that prevent you from using Starbreaker, so... And it feels bad to rush BKB. So getting this as a kind of a gapping item for your damage item is solid here. Still have to be very careful when you're out of Starbreaker though. I think this is the, once again, a lineup that LGD are running that are very, very good at punishing melee heroes. So... We've seen that in the previous fight, right? If you're just a little bit out of position on the Dawn or on the Marcy, the punishment is pretty severe. So maybe Secret are going to try to slow this down until they have Reso's BKB. I think that would give them a lot of more options to play around with, because I think he's not going to die during that, realistically speaking, unless he's standing in like a Monkey King ult and just tanking that up. Nobody else is doing anything to him in BKB. I don't think the Exorcism Ghosts are really a concern when you have Sidekick plus your ult running. True. Easily going to out-heal that.
Still about 1,000 away from finishing that, so... couple minutes. I mean, from LGD's side, they have a lineup that can take Roche pretty fast with the Exo, but it requires pretty big cooldown and likely want to pick off beforehand.
They're going to look for the said pick off. Wonder if they will try to get this as a level 12 gap for Faith Beyond to then go Roche. Tiny close to Dagger, by the way. Jin-Q went phase boots and has just been quietly farming in the top lane for the last 5 weeks.
Psg.Lgd, Avalanche clips Resolution, pops back into the Sinister Gaze, but Nisha's coming with the Solar Guardian help as well. Resolution ticking out very slowly. Looks like he will. Oh no, actually gets off the stun, jumps in time with his Unleash, dispels the Urn Charge, and Jin-Q looks like he's going to fall as the Crystalist double kill comes out, but finally Resolution does fall. A little bit of a backwards engagement, but I think Secret will be okay with this. 2 for 1.
I wonder if we get that in a replay. I wonder if Jin-Q actually needed to go for that. Because what he did, he gave Reso something to hit with his lifesteal. Obviously, Unleash would not have been able to remove that Vessel charge. It doesn't do that anymore unless you have, I believe it's the Shard, right? Where you get the Vessel.
Oh, the hell.
So, or sorry, not the Shard, this the Scepter. So, yeah. That got a lot better for Secret than it looked like it would. And again, that counter initiation potential with the Dawn really coming into play there. Find a return. So we're going to see the replay here. So look, this is a really good initiation from Jin-Q into the Silence. It's good execution overall. I think he ticks down to this Vessel. But now Jin-Q is going to walk in and give him lifesteal. And he will outlast this for so long. And the thing about this is, sure, Jin-Q just kill him in the end, right? But this means Tiny is not participating in the side fight, where that Avalanche could have made a huge difference. Reso all smiles.
No, I'm
there.
not sure, but the toss, I think it was bringing him closer, but the Sinister back to stop him. There's a fight here, Faith Beyond. Doing a lot of damage, healing with the Spirit Side. Here comes the Wukong's command from Ame, trying to focus down Nisha and top the Bloodstone, but will that be enough? Spirit Side's still there. That's 2 for nothing. Psg.Lgd winning this fight, and now another Avalanche. Jin-Q looking for a target to toss. Oh, Crystalus can't get to the low ground though. Has to walk away the old-fashioned way. It's off the Starbreaker. Really connects onto Ame. Rounds to follow. It looks like this is going to be the death of the position. 1 for Secret as Psg.Lgd win a big fight here in the mid game.
Huge for them. Monkey King unlocked. He gets involved with that BKB and finds the kill on the big game on the other side. The Lash has the Bloodstone and Yules, but no BKB, and does just end up getting kind of... I wouldn't even say he got chain stunned, but just like a little bit here and there. It just builds up enough time for Ame to finish the job in the end with a Frost Shield slow. That's really benefit Monkey King quite a lot for these chasing sequences. And now all of a sudden, I mean, Secret just had a pretty good engaged top way to get that trade. Now 5k behind. Just look at that Wukong's command, beautifully placed. Nisha in a really awkward position in the center of it. Almost escaped, but not quite. And I feel like when the Leshrac dies, Secret's teamfight just is over, right? Like, it just falls so incredibly flat, not just because of the way their lineup is structured, but because of how much of the net worth they're sitting on is on this hero. He just really has to be protected at all costs to get his stuff out. And that time, Nisha does get picked off. Just snowballs the fight in LGD's favor, no problem.
Secret smoking up to the enemy jungle. Faith.Beyond. See him?
Far out.
Yeah. Maneuvers himself to the other side. Might have missed out on the vision there. No, they saw him. Resolution with a nice rebound. Here comes the Solar Guardian as well for the Avalanche. Mitigating a lot of this right now. As Chrysalis focusing down Jin Q for the time being. As Faith.Beyond looks to be dead. Just one more right click to go. A nice pick off for Secret. Ame, next to his tier 2 tower, has to pop the BKB. Wukong's command to follow. Now there's no physical damage go through this with that BKB activated. But they can try to continue on here once the BKB ends up running out. Wise can take the further damage now from the Starbreaker. So Secret getting everything they want. Ame, the only one left in this area. Looks like he does get away safely. That would have been just a disaster for Psg.Lgd. Still, Secret going to be extremely happy with what happened here.
That looked like a really ambitious dive, but it works out very well. I don't think LGD were remotely ready for this to happen. Like the way their DP gets jumped. I think the just snap reaction there from Jinq on the Tiny was really impressive. He finds the blink into a good avalanche, but did not buy enough space. No BKB yet on the DP. Couldn't get away from a lot of the damage and then gets run down by Reso. And they found, I believe they cut the trees of Ame as well. I think he took the long stun there. I believe we're going to see that potentially in the replay. So this is not a common attack angle here that Secret are going for with their lineup, right? So Jinq, notice that really quick blink avalanche, really good job there. But Faith.Beyond, that's that Reso BKB coming into play, how much that can do. Does finish off that gun on the left side. Yeah, Ame gets cut out of the trees there. Stunned for a really long time. Fortunately for him, has BKB ult, or he would have died too. And this could have been tragic for LGD. Now it's just, now it's only bad. Most of their lead evaporating there.
Yep, pretty damn even game now as a result of that fight. Have yet to see the first Roche, by the way. I think that's probably going to be the next thing on the menu for both sides if they can get to that. Faith.Beyond, he is about to pick up his BKB. That is going to be pretty massive.
That's huge, and it's worth noting as well what Ame went for. I don't think we've highlighted the Mage Slayer, but obviously an amazing item against Lash, right? I think it's part of the reason that Ame doesn't die in that situation when he gets cut out of the trees. Having that magic resistance really helps, and obviously when you do hit the Lash, getting that magic damage reduction as well. But that said, Nisha popping, or rather revealing a BKB in the coming fight could become massive for Secret here.
LGD in the pit. Exorcism already popped. Zayat is going to spot it. The Spike Carapace comes out, double and tail. Tiny's just dead right off the bat. And now the focus is on Ame. He goes down to the pulse though, but no buyback for the Monkey King as Y. He's going to get chased now by Nisha. And a huge fight for Secret. See if they can go into the pit and get this road for the toss back from Jin Q. Avalanche is there as well. Resolution gets deleted. So maybe now with the numbers. Buyback now into the Lynch. Puppey attempting to TP out. He'll be fine.
Pretty damn impressive that LGD managed to salvage that. Like, consider how that fight began. They send in the 4 Nyx, they immediately kill the enemy carry, as well as the Lich, and it still turns out somewhat even in the end. It is big, though, that the Exorcism was expended and the BKB for Faith.Beyond. Of course, that's a really crucial moment there that LGD could have converted into something big, but
a tithe to the impurities.
I guess at the very least for them with how that started, things could have gone way worse. So look at Tithe. I mean, also kind of a blunder. Where's the Sentry?
That's true.
You're playing against Nyx and you're taking Roche. This is, I would say for LGD, maybe a little bit disappointing considering the level this team usually plays at. Just a little bit cocky, really going for that without putting a Sentry Ward down in that area to protect them from this potential move. And I think it got placed now, so they do have it for the next Roche fight. It is ready against Zayats, but that definitely did catch them off guard there. Like, imagine that exact situation with the Sentry. I actually think they just get the road.
Another toss back. This time it's on to Puppey. It's going to be canceled. I think here that's the Starbreaker, so it's a 1-for-1 on the supports. I mean, Exo's still down for a minute. Not sure if Secret will have time to try to take advantage. As we're going to see a blink now onto Nisha.
That's a dieback on GQ, by the way.
That's true, a full minute.
Secret are getting insane value out of Zayats on the Nyx, just like in the first game. I think it's really, the Carapace is causing issues. You see the Tiny there wanting to go in and just gets countered very quickly. Zayats in the right place at the right time a lot in these games.
Resolution, I believe the Basher is on the way, so he will do a lot of damage in these fights.
It gives him the possibility of preventing Monkey King from playing the game, right?
Oh, wow.
If you do get the right setup without Wukong's command down, Marcy can beat Monkey King right straight up. This is huge for Secret, though. Don't think. I mean, do LGD even try
Exo
this?
is up in 5.
It's too late.
Yeah, looks like it's too late.
Awesome play call here from Secret to go for this. They know Tiny has no buyback.
Beyond. Frost Shield's gonna keep him healthy for a little longer. Pops the BKB. But Monkey King with the Boundless Strike. Ame comes to play. Ash applied to Resolution now, but the rebound onto the other side of the river. He'll be fine, but Nisha looks like he wants to try to fight. Gets off the Yule. Gonna be on now on the outskirts of this fight. That is a dead Lash, but that is just the Aegis. Exorcism still going. Science gets the Impale onto one, but now they're trying to turn this around onto the Monkey King. There's the Starbreaker from Chrysalis, and that is the death of Ame. 50 seconds on the deck. And Psg.Lgd, they get the Aegis technically out of the hands of Secret, but it does cost them.
Yeah, it's almost a repeat of the previous moment, right? Where a bad start gets turned into something salvageable for LGD. Like, it's not great by any means to lose the Roche there, but as you said, they do get rid of the Aegis. And I mean, not a spell we hype up a lot in general, but Frost Shield just coming up huge in this fight for keeping Faith Beyond alive here, as he does get jumped there. So you see the instant Frost Shield here makes the difference. If he dies there, this is just all over. Gets the BKB off, gets the Siphons running. Awesome 3-man stun coming in from Ame from the tree line there with that Boundless. And Resso fortunate enough to have a good spell to get out with.
Every time I saw, we're going to see the Avatars come out onto Puppey. Is he going to be punished though? Crystals comes in with the hammer. Starbreaker's there as well, and Jinkyu dies. 45 seconds of no Tony.
With the impurity.
Why? He spotted out, the glimpse back. Looks like Y will be next, so 2 supports down in favor of Secret.
Basher on both sides. You pointed out the Marcy one. Now we have one on the Monkey King as well. So really crucial item for potentially locking down the Lesh or the Marcy to keep them in that arena. As we've seen, Resso just resets a lot of the time, just jumps away on the Nyx most of the time. And maybe with this Basher, Ame can keep them a little bit more in place. Eyeing up a Scotty next for more healing reduction against the Lash, and that reliable slow once again.
Nothing to say, Impale is there. The stun from Resolution with the Basher as well. Nothing to say, has to use BKB. Got the glimpse back, they're gonna find a support. No, Faith Beyond pops the BKB as well. But this is both in defensive measures as Resolution finds the distance because he's playing Marcy. And down goes, nothing to say. 3K lead now for Secret. And Nisha working on the Shivas next. They're going to get outpost control in the Psg.Lgd jungle. Ame for the support, but Zayats is there to try to counteract the Shield Guardian coming in as well. Ame popped the BKB along with Crystal, but Starbreaker deletes Y from the face of the map, and now they're inside Wukong's command.
No bash.
Have to get the hell out of there as Resolution. Looks like he's going to live, uses the rebound to get a little bit extra distance. Zayats in company now focusing down. Faith Beyond on the Death Prophet. Another valuable kill and another valuable fight for Secret.
Yeah, they're going to turn this into mid-tier 2 as well, so yeah, huge that they managed to fight the fight with Zeus dead, right? It's just it's a lot easier for Secret to take this fight when they just get the initiation and don't have to worry too much about that counterplay. So this looks pretty good, but
it does.
They just have so quick reactions on the Dawn and the Nyx. Again, this pairing that Secret have been running in Game 1 and Game 2 now, it's really paying off. And crucial for Resso that he doesn't get bashed. Any bash in that Monkey King arena, he's dead. So a little bit of luck on his side as well there. Get out. All of a sudden, man, this game has swung around in a big way. I feel like it's 5 minutes ago that LGD were ahead by 5K, now they're down by 8. It goes fast sometimes in Dota when you win these big fights, and Secret, probably with this advantage that they have right now, if they can keep their cool and keep building up their Lesh, the next Roche, you would imagine, could go their way, and that one could open up for high ground. Like you pointed out in the last game, LGD is a team that plays really, really well from behind, one of the best in the world at that. They will try just that immediately now. No DP ults. They're actually going for a 5-man offensive smoke with Faith Beyond out of best ability. I mean, it's debatable. Maybe Spirit Siphon is his best ability, but you know. They want to use it. They do.
Avatar, Zayats wants to come in though. They lost Puppey already. Does have the buyback dieback available. Thunder God's Wrath is there. Looks like Zayas is going to barely limp away, but no, nothing to say there to finish him off. Now Resolution, he's taking so much damage. The rebound onto the other side of the map again. Rezo is fine. 70 seconds of no nicks. Must have been a dieback technically. Static Storm. Okay, enough to take out Jin Q. Very cocky play from Puppey, but it kind of works out. But again, if they get the kill, this will technically be a dieback for him. Now a strike. Looks like it will be just that. But there's no Roche to get.
There's that glimpse bump. That's not a kill without the damage.
That is a good point.
He killed Tiny with glimpse there, so. Yeah, it's not great to get a dieback just to kill off Jin Q. I mean, his net worth in this game is not particularly impressive on that. Tiny has had a lot of deaths in these fights, 2 and 8 currently on him. And it gives more than anything for LGD. They made a smoke without EXO. They finally win a fight, and they get a little bit of breathing room, which I think is crucial. You're closing in on some pretty big moments. Monkey King is not too far from level 20. Faith Beyond is close to level 18 as well. Nothing to say, also not that far from 20. And you look over at the secret heroes, Nisha obviously with level 22.
Radiant's top
well ahead in that on that front, having that strong talent on 20. And Rezo actually breaks his 18 now as well. So important to look out for these key levels coming both sides. Wait. Nisha's level 17. What the hell? Remember his start?
Yes. Level 2 at like 7.5 minutes.
That's a good recovery.
Very good initiation, but Jin Q is there with the avalanche. Will it be enough? No. Nothing to say. Goes down to another member of Secret. That Starbreaker has been deleting heroes, and of course you've said it time and time again. Zayas has been setting up every single initiation. And the fact that they can do it across the map with a hero like Dawnbreaker is insane.
It's just a great read that he thinks Zeus is going to go there and use Arm Lightning, right? So he can get that Carapace stun off, and then they use that immediately to chain. Just very, very nicely played by Secret. Pretty much perfect layering of the stuns, too. Just a little bit of a mistake there. Maybe you get BKB off and jump away on the Zeus, but none of that out of the way of Secret, so.
Yes,
Yeah, they've really had his number this game. I mean, it's not like it's just awful scoreline to be 9, 5, and 8 on Zeus, but it just feels like the Carapace has been his big bane this game.
Yeah.
So many times getting caught off by this Nyx that he did choose to pick it into, which is worth pointing out. Like, they picked Zeus knowing that Nyx was in the game, and it is a double-edged matchup, right? Zeus also has obviously the true sight coming out from Lightning Bolt can be handy, and the ult.
Yeah.
To find the Nyx, but if he makes the first move...
And that hasn't really come into play. I think I've
Not
seen
really.
one time that it's actually come into play.
Zayas has been playing an outstanding series.
Absolutely.
So
This
far.
is one of the greatest Nyx performances I've seen in a long time. This hero was kind of just not in play from, I want to say, like previous TIs. It feels like it's just fallen off the map, but this year it's kind of come back with a vengeance.
Yep.
Nisha now has his Shivas, and his net worth separation between 1 and 2 is absurd. 7K, my goodness. Yep. And he's not afraid to go to the high ground as the rest of Secret are going to smoke up.
LGD would love to not fight for the next 300 golden army, just get that Scotty. It's a really big game changer for them to get that unlocking. It's going to help them so much against the Lesh as long as he gets to play the fight on the MK. Look how much they're covering.
Evolution with the double damage, by the way. Nothing to say. It's dead. And it's not onto several heroes. Now 2 dead for LGD to just start out the fight. Another Starbreaker, but now Crystallis and company outside the Wukong's command. The glimpse back on the Faith Beyond, and he is dead. Triple kill for Resolution. There are all buybacks available for LGD, so Secret have to be a bit careful with this. And why? He's going to die inside his own base. He's the one lone member of LGD without the buyback at the moment. So 12K lead for Secret. Roche is available, and we'll see if they try to go for that before trying to push high ground.
Correct me if I'm wrong, did they set up that fight with a Rezo jump? Was he just jumped on the Zeus, right?
His rebound, I don't know about the initial one.
I think he blinked with ult on and just instantly bashed the Zeus and basically killed him 100-0 with a DD root. I think that's what happened, right? I was like, okay, he just disappeared on the Zeus. He has no armor. Actually, he has negative armor because he has the Nether Shawl.
That's true.
We're going to see the replay. Oh, okay, this is the
God.
tail end of it. I believe it was Rezo setting it up himself that time, but either way, it's extremely explosive, the Secret lineup, when they get the jump. You have to be so quick as LGD to counteract it with Glimmer Thing, with Frost Shield, or the hero just disappears.
Yeah.
It's one of Marcy's biggest strengths in Pro Dota is that the damage comes out so quickly that it's almost inhuman to react to it in key moments, and right there, the Zeus just didn't get to play. Nothing to say. part of me feels like he should buy Aeon Disc here. I think going Octarine is maybe like it's a glass half full kind of, or glass half empty kind of approach. Like, how are you thinking about this? Is it, okay, I'm not going to get caught and I will have maximum impact, or is it, all right, I kind of have to cover my bases? It doesn't feel good to buy BKB and Disc, but I mean, look at how the fights are going, right?
I think technically, if you think you're going to survive, that's considered glass
to the
half full.
impurities.
Yeah, but that's not really what's happening.
Nah.
So
All
I think
fears fading.
that's what I'm saying. The Octarine is the glass half full approach, but that's not what's been happening, right? So I think you have to.
Why? Out.
He's toast.
They're going to see him unleash, and a couple right clicks from Resolution
Okay.
will do the job. He has a Chrysalis right now, not his teammate. And he's actually pretty well into the data list, so I think just a recipe away essentially from finishing that. Obviously, buyback is going to be kind of paramount for every Secret, every hero in this game at this stage. 17k lead now for Secret. Aegis advantage. We didn't talk about the shard, but it was taken by Nisha, which one of those weird shards, obviously very powerful with the splitters being, I mean, a lot of times we think about like high ground defense, but high ground yourself is actually not too shabby as well. Avalanche here, Wukong's command expended to just for Puppy though. Looks like it is for now as Nisha, he's perfectly fine to try to fight this out on the other side of the Wukong's command. Here comes a Soul Guardian as well. Fate Beyond is dead. Got the toss back onto Nisha, but now the Wukong's command is down. The BKB finally activated from Ami. It's a big battle strike. A lot of damage coming out from Nothing to Say. So they get the two supports in the end, but now Nothing to Say, he's the one getting pursued by Nisha. Split Earth connects. Pulse Nova continuing to go in again. The Aegis still intact for Secret. Frost Shield not going to mitigate any of that magic damage, and the Starbreaker is enough. Another death for Nothing to Say, and 2 cores dead for LGD with no buybacks.
Yeah, he actually finally got to play a fight on the Zeus, so we got to see something come out of him in the way of damage there. But again, Secret just pouncing so strongly in these fights now, and that one felt like a net worth lead win,
Yes,
right?
yes.
If they don't have a big advantage here, this fight is going to go LGD's way. But Secret have built themselves such a fundamental lead now that they can even make a couple of mistakes here or there if necessary, but they're not really doing that. Still feels very, very clean. I love the confidence from Nisha too. I mean, sure, he has Aegis. I think he would have done that anyway, honestly. It's like, oh, Wukong's command is down and I'm not in it. I'm invincible. I can do whatever I want. And he just runs outside it and starts chasing heroes down. Now looking for the first lane of barracks here. Overwhelming Blink obviously will make it very easy for him to, first of all, be tanky and also set up his own stun.
And Nisha, I mean, he's level 25. Trying to get tossed back. That's something you have to be a little bit careful, but if he pops the BKB, and Jin-Q is punished really hard. But it's going to not connect BKB from Fate Beyond. That's the buyback now to Jin-Q. They have to be careful because Nothing to Say is now available to fight. They're trying to turn this around as Resolution jumps in with his BKB, focusing down Ame with the Wukong's command. He gets so much armor as Resolution gets destroyed. 80 seconds of no mercy. Another falls for Secret as Psg.Lgd showing some life here. They find 3 kills with no reciprocation.
Toss MVP.
What is their Embracer doing down there?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe someone's gonna.
Oh, all right. Jin-Q deletes it. Very nice.
Been funny if that gave someone buyback, but not the case. Yeah, Toss is everything there. They can't get Nisha into a bad position in any other way. And you saw he was expecting the play too. He was like, I'm gonna get tossed here. I'm gonna BKB. I'm gonna kill Tiny, which is what they did. But it set up enough time for LGD to connect, and maybe his teammates a little bit too eager to help here. I think he's actually fine.
Yeah, he's tough.
And he can reset out of this. With Reso getting that kill on the Tiny, Secret can full disengage here, but they kind of do get baited in again. I think this jump from Reso is really putting him in an awkward spot where Monkey King can finally isolate him. And there's a bash. That's the kill.
Yep. And using the rebound offensively means you have no escape mechanism.
Exactly.
On the
I think Secret could have actually got a pretty big win there by just
disengaging once the exit was popped.
Yeah, trading their Aegis away for the Tiny buyback and getting out.
LGD winning a very important fight, and the Aegis was never used, so it's going to expire on its own accord here in 20 seconds. Question is, what is the next item for Nisha? He has the overwhelming blink.
Wind Waker queued up.
Okay.
I guess it's really nice to save his teammates out of Wukong's, right? He can get Rezo out of trouble.
He's probably the primary hero that will be in jeopardized positions. Hex is also something he is looking at.
I mean, the problem with using it on a teammate, you can't move it. Right? It only moves on yourself. They can't really get out of Wukong, so it's just literally a Yule in that case.
It's just buying time is just
an
important
extra
in general.
couple seconds.
Yeah, it makes a pretty big difference.
Nisha is still with a ridiculous net worth lead right now. But at what point, is there a point that Lesh falls off at all? I mean, the Diabolic Edict explosion, we didn't really talk about the 25 town. That is something you just can't let him get close to buildings now.
I mean, I guess something Nisha doesn't have is a refresher. If you want to look at it from that perspective, like how do you solve the hero? If he doesn't have Aegis and doesn't have refresher, he is susceptible when BKB runs out. Zeus has a lot of damage. You have no magic resistance. I guess that's kind of untrue. You have Cloak of Flame, so a little bit, but it's, and if you get caught by a Scotty trail from Monkey...
Speaking of refresher, Ame does have one.
He has it, yep.
Smoked up.
Even after the nerfs, you can easily afford this. If you go Scotty, it's something, especially we've seen Faceless Voids in the past go for as a build.
He's going to be the one that gets popped here, but popped the BKB very early. Gets off the Slitter, trying to play around it, but Jiggly's left the spot here as well. He will not run there, and Nisha has to use the Yules on himself, but he's likely just going to be left alone, and he's going to be brought down. A huge kill for LGD. There are buybacks for both remaining members here from Secret.
You really have to be on your toes against this team. Like, you have a big lead, sure, but this is the one thing that can't happen for Secret is that they find Lesh without support. Like, if anyone else is in that line of fire, it's not that bad. Like, you could have lost a Nyx there, you could have lost a Marcy, you could have lost a Disruptor, but Nisha cannot get out once he gets slowed down by that Scotty. He has no... I think that's probably why he is considering this Windbreaker, is he needs it for himself. He has to have some sort of way of repositioning and buying time and getting out.
Yep, that's fair.
And with the BKB expended, you see it afterwards. He's just getting chain locked until he dies. Protection just wasn't there. That's a big dent in Secret's lead. That was about 6k net worth from 2 kills in a tower. So it is still well within reach for LGD to solve this.
I mean, 11k at this stage is really not that many. It's literally on Nisha, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much his net worth lead, so yeah, that's true.
One thing I do want to mention, we're a bit far, it's 2k away, but Puppey,
Radiant's middle tower
Aghanim
is under
Scepter,
attack.
halfway there, that is something that can just win the game, essentially.
Radiant
Yeah, he has
to
the
get
good
it on.
setup, right? He has the next. Oh, speaking of.
Yep, Solar Guardians there. Looks like Jin Q will die. 90 seconds of no Tiny here.
Never safe pushing a side lane against these two.
Quick TP's out. Ame not going to pursue any further.
They're immediately going again. It's like, oh, we get the kill, they TP back, now they smoke and look for another move. So, quick plays here from Team Secret. Lesh obviously will be able to connect here with Travels. They find a move on the side lane here, bot, but nobody is showing. From LGD wisely, staying tight-knit here. It is historically and just generally the way to handle Nyx is to not split up too much, especially if he has a global presence, right? A classic combination is Nyx Invoker, get the stun combo into Sunstrike, and that's kills. If you play tight like this with Sentry Wards, it's a lot harder for Zayas to find the impact.
Very synced up on those Shivas there. Faith Beyond versus Nisha, but the BKB prevents the glimpse from being used.
Renzo's thinking,
Going, he gets the bash to start things out, and Faith Beyond is evaporated here, and now they're going to get the Lich on top of it, has to buy back. And we can see that Roche is available. I'm not sure if they're aware, and this is the one with the Aghanim Scepter, which gives you that 6k net worth injection, essentially.
Dude, that's so dirty. Like, think of how tanky the Death Prop is. 4k health with a Shiva.
You have to get Eon Disc.
Renzo literally just blinked in and killed him in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Daedalus, Unleash.
And I think when the Tiny is dead, that is their combo break. And that's the thing that's been kind of like the Avalanche or the tossback to get the fear. When he's dead, I don't think there's anything they need to fear when going in. And that's going to be another Roche for Secret. It's going to be Nihilism, I would assume, onto Nisha. We'll see who ends up taking the Aghanim Scepter.
Holding it on Nyx
Nyx,
for
okay.
now. He's not used it, though.
Puppey's 800 from finishing it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah,
Not consumed it. I mean,
I guess they're debating what to do right now.
Yeah, it's actually a tough decision. Nyx's Ags is incredibly good. Question is, how much value are you going to get on Nihilism? I mean, it's really good as well.
Yeah, it's not the best Nihilism game, though, right? It's good against Monkey King, but I don't know. Maybe they're just never going to use it. I wonder what the win rate is of Aghanim's Blessing unconsumed. It's got to be pretty
That's a
high.
great stat. Yeah, I'm sure. Somebody working on that one. Very important.
He's literally, it is inflating his net worth right now. So he's literally just walking around with higher net worth.
No,
gain.
it doesn't inflate until you consume. Okay, he just consumed it now.
It did. His net worth was the same.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe
He
it.
was carrying around 6k gold. All right, he finally uses it.
All right, so now you get a buff to every skill and burrow. You become a lurker. Hopefully that's not trademarked, or I might get fired here. So Secret, Psg.Lgd, 25k lead for Secret, but it doesn't. Sometimes it hasn't really felt like that, based on LGD just making brilliant moves. That last one really hurt.
It did, and they hit a huge breaking point here. They get 25 on Dawnbreaker. This is such an it is one of the best talents in the whole game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just so strong to get a second free Starbreaker. You have the BKB death, so you're guaranteed to get 2 of them off. You're playing against 1 Monkey King Basher. It's the only counter that the enemy team has to your Starbreakers going off, so Chrysalis will do massive damage, and as we've seen time and time again in this game, plenty of setup where that comes from his teammates. Both Rezo and Zayats will be happy to just jump in and give him 2 Starbreakers to get a key kill.
And not only that, I mean, the other side, we have Heart on Faith Beyond, very big item, but the Aghanim Scepter was officially purchased now by Puppy, so
you know what
muting of
don't
items.
have? I don't have a Force Staff.
On PSG?
Yeah, that feels like an oversight to not have that item, right? I know you're playing against Lens, but you need some sort of way of getting out of Starbreaker. Getting out of
They're gonna jump in, Soul Guardian coming in at the end. It looks like BPL might drop inside the Wukong's command, and I think just trying to reset. Zayas is gonna live thanks to the Eon Disc and just burrow his way back to full HP. The Jin Q is dead as well without buyback available. Now they just wait out the Wukongs. They're gonna go in again with Chrysalis and Starbreaker, decimating time and time again. But there's Ame's refresher. Wukong's command to fall. Chrysalis eats the cheese, tries to get force stack, but not gonna live through this engagement. They did find Niche, okay. Gets off the Yule, but instantly canceled. There's a neutral item.
It's actually doing work.
So they got the tower, but nothing more.
They got a Zeus buyback too.
Right, he has Wind Waker, like you said. That was the Stormcraft, so he has 2 ways to dispel.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a nullifier or something, just canceling it out.
Dyer's
But
bottom barracks are
just the
under
baby
attack.
Yules. Secret
Dyer's
continuing to
structures
pursue.
are fortified.
Fortification is popped. Split Earths aplenty being applied. Now they know that there's no
Dyer's
Wukong's
bottom
command.
barracks are under
Refresher
attack.
already used on Ame. Did he also pop BKB? No. So he has his second BKB now.
This is just not a safe push whatsoever with BP and especially Tiny respawning. I really like from Secret that they disengage here and don't try to get those barracks. I think the risk reward just isn't favoring you nearly enough. Go back, play the map, get your spells ready, get your heroes back in play, and try to find another pick outside the base and use that to get the racks instead. So, I mean, LGD, they do hold on, but it feels like it's expensive every single time. This time, getting that Zeus buyback out, he doesn't have this, and he's still not considering it. He's eyeing up the Hex. Okay, finally, he changed his mind. So will take the defensive route here to ensure that he can at least stay alive for a moment. Faith Beyond!
Inside the Static Storm, remember he can't use any items inside of it, and he's dead! 90 seconds of no death profit! Ame trying to get some revenge on Resolution, ends up using Rebound on the other side. Only 1 inside Wukong's command right now, but 3 dead for Psg.Lgd. You know, Ame looks to be next. The Starbreaker is coming just for him. Specialty from Secret. He has to buy back instantly. Now Resolution with the dispose, onto nothing to say. Has to pop the BKB himself, but this looks like it might be the beginning of the end for LGD in this upper bracket. Rebound actually proc there, but again, Chrysalis with the Starbreaker. And this is going to be several sets of racks, if not potentially GG.
Faith Beyond just disappears. It's like
Dyer's bottom
LGD want to
barracks
access
are
this
under
high ground.
attack.
They're like, what hero can we send in first that can possibly survive? And he should be the choice, right? You've got Heart, Shiva, BKB. He dies before he gets BKB off. He literally just gets killed 100-0. Even with Lich's protection, it wasn't enough.
Oh, Zayats finds Ame. This is going to be a dieback for him potentially, and it will. Double Starbreaker. GG is called, and Secret 2-0 Psg.Lgd, sending them to the lower bracket, and they're going to face off against Thunder Predator. My goodness, I don't think anybody was expecting that potential matchup in the upper bracket, but wow, what a series from Secret.
Yeah, my prediction so far, great.